Thank you, Stephanie, and good morning, everyone. I'm excited to have the opportunity to serve as the moderator for today's session, the financial outlook for women across race and culture in today's economy. Before I delve into a few facts about women, I'd like to tell you a little bit about Women's in a Cultural Exchange and TIAA-CREF's partnership. Women's in a Cultural Exchange is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to build social capital among women of diverse cultures, foster cross-cultural awareness, and develop the infrastructure for community dialogue and engagement. Because of WE's mission and commitment to the community, TIAA-CREF thought this was a great opportunity for us to partner with them. We also partnered with them last fall when the conference was held at Johnson C. Smith, and when this particular topic came up and we talked about the partnership with Queens, we knew it was a perfect fit, and it was a win-win for we, Queens, as well as TIAA-CREF. TIAA-CREF is a Fortune 100 financial services organization that is the leading retirement provider for people who work in the academic, research, medical, and cultural fields. TIAA-CREF serves 3.7 million customers, and we have about 15,000 institutions and about $453 billion in assets under management. Now I'd like to share a few facts about women, and I'm not sure if you saw the Charlotte Observer yesterday, but their money-wise section, and I told Stephanie this earlier today, I thought it was God doing his work, but it said single, female, retired, and broke. And I went, wow, we're doing this presentation on Monday, and this article talked about women in particular, but also from the vantage point of single women who've either become divorced or retired, and they never got married. And it talked about the fact that they invested their money, but they maybe didn't invest enough. They didn't diversify due to the economic downturn. They are not able to sustain a particular lifestyle. And that's a lot of what you're going to hear today, so I don't want to go into a lot of details related to that. But I do want to share a few other statistics related to women in general. According to Social Security Administration, the average life expectancy for women is about 86 years compared to men of 84 years of age. And several years ago, it was the gap was a lot wider, but it's narrowing a little bit, and that's probably due to lifestyles, etc. The census information tells us that the average age of widowhood is 55 years old. The current divorce rate is estimated at between 36 and 50%. Statistics indicate that earlier that someone marries in life, the higher the probability of divorce. So if you got married at an early age, the likelihood you're going to be divorced is, they're saying that statistic is increasing. Women are more likely than men to be single parents. Women have lower wages, lower lifetime earnings, and are less likely to be covered by a pension plan. The Bureau of Labor Statistics report that the median earning for all women is around $638 a week, compared to $798 for men, which is approximately 80% of what men earn on average. The Department of Labor reported in 2008 that less than half of the working women participate in a pension or retirement plan. 60% of women think that they may deplete all of their savings during retirement. 29% of women expect Social Security to be their primary source of income for their future. Women are more likely to work part-time jobs that don't offer retirement plans. Nearly 2/3 of the U.S. women ages 40 to 79 have already dealt with a major financial life crisis such as job loss, divorce, the death of a spouse, or serious illness. Now, the real reason I'm sharing all these statistics is really to set the framework. These statistics are really enlightening for me when I began to do some of this research to think about how women are very different as it relates to how they think about money, how they manage money, how they invest money. And so the purpose is really to help whet your appetite for the topics and the different topics that you'll hear from the panelists today. So I don't want to go into a lot of detail there, but I did want to begin to get you to think about women and what we can do as a group, collectively or individually, begin to think about how to manage money, how to invest, etc. So now I'd like to introduce our panelists. I'll start with Karen Wimbush, Director of Retail Retirement with Wells Fargo. Karen has been head of Retail Retirement Group at Wells Fargo & Company since May of 2010. Before that, she served as President of Wells Fargo's Advisor Latina American Group, where she led the brokerage team and leveraged her management skills with unique ability to partner across multiple constituencies. Karen led a team of over 200 members, all of whom are focused on increasing Wells Fargo's ability to help retail customers through multiple channels plan for and live a comfortable, achievable retirement. She has more than 30 years of experience in financial services and is an expert at managing a business to focus on serving individual customers. She began her career at Wells Fargo in 1996 when she joined the predecessor firm, Wheat First Securities in Richmond, Virginia. Welcome, Karen. Next, allow me to introduce Chia-Li Jan, CEO and Chief Strategist of Value Growth Institute. Chia-Li is a passionate leader of small business strategy, strategic equity value creation, and implementation mastery. Her company, Value Growth Institute, helps entrepreneurs create business value that transforms their world. She is a Midas advisor of Midas Nation, a community that is dedicated to helping private business owners increase the value of their firms. Chia-Li is also the award-winning author of Show Me the Money and faculty member of the American Management Association. Her interviews appear in the New York Times' You're the Boss blog. She also serves on several committees and boards, so I won't list all of them, but I do want to share a few of them with you. She's the chair of the Pro Bono Advisory Committee for Financial Planning. She also is a member of the Women's Advisory Board for Mecklenburg County Board of Commissioners in Charlotte, North Carolina. And she also is a member of the Women's Intercultural Exchange Advisory Council. Chia-Li, we're happy that you could be here today as well. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Catherine Giscombe, founder of Preserving Our Gains. Dr. Giscombe directed the groundbreaking study, Women of Color in Corporate Management, Opportunities and Barriers, which was sponsored by the nonprofit organization Catalyst, a group whose mission is to expand opportunities for women in business. Having written a series of reports and consulting engagements based on that research, she continues to be a national presence in creating solutions for women of color in corporate management. At this point, Dr. Giscombe is expanding her research and practice interests to focus on issues critical to the well-being of the entire African American community. How to close the wealth gap that exists between Black and white America, in particular, and how it affects the top earning African Americans. A frequent presenter at corporate and academic conferences, Dr. Giscombe received her doctorate in organizational psychology from the University of Michigan. Dr. Giscombe is skilled at designing high-quality research and communicating action-based recommendations to business audiences. In 2005, Dr. Giscombe was selected by the Network Journal as one of the 25 influential Black women in business. And in 2007, she received the Legacy of Leadership Award from Spelman College Center for Leadership and Civic Engagement. We're glad that you could join us today as well, Dr. Giscombe. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Michelle Shaw. Dr. Shaw is Professor of Spanish here at Queen's University of Charlotte. She was formerly chair of the Department of Foreign Languages for 21 years. She is a descendant of Spanish and Cuban immigrants, third or fourth generation, depending on which grandparent you count. And she received her doctorate in Latin American literature from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, with a dissertation entitled Myth and Folklore in Mulata de Tal. Her critical essays have been included in numerous journals. She has presented papers at numerous regional and national conferences. She co-edits the e-journal Label Me Latina, which creates scholarly essays and creative works about and by Latino artists. Thank you for joining us today, Michelle. Finally, I'd like to introduce Risa Bryant, Director of Human Resources at TIAA-CREF. Risa has more than 16 years experience in financial services industry. She began her career at TIAA-CREF in 1994 as a phone center representative where she answered calls from participants who were interested in planning for retirement. Risa quickly progressed throughout TIAA-CREF and assumed several leadership roles such as team manager, project manager, call center director, and finally her current role. Let's give the panelists a round of applause. the panelists will have about 10 minutes to talk about their area of interest and their topic, and then we will also entertain questions from the audience. We'll start with Karen.